Hi, Book Monster Mitch. Excuse me, Book Monster Mitch. I meant to do this video earlier in the week, 2 or 3 days ago, but I got that um, Three Musketeers Special Edition, so I wanted to show that off um, instead. But this video, the video I intended to do before I even got that Musketeers Special Edition is a video I've been kind of toying around with here and there for a while. We only have maybe, there's only maybe 2.5 months, a little over 2 months left in 2025. I know it's a little early for end of the year content, but and this isn't really end of the year closeout type of video anyway, but I just thought I'd do a video saying what I was pleased or happy about in the calendar year of 2025 and not so happy about in the calendar year. Um, and it's like I said, close enough. If you want to consider this an early end of the year video, go ahead. I'm not gonna fight you over that, but me personally, it's not an end of the year thing. It's just getting close to the end of the year that I don't know. I don't think anything will change, at least drastically, to say things I am and not happy about, if that makes sense. If not, I'm sorry, I tried to make it make sense. So, here goes nothing. Um, Things I'm not happy about is I've documented on the channel several times earlier in the year, beginning of the year to about the midway point, even recently. Sorry, you know, my sinuses are, dripping and making my voice do crazy things every so often. I know that might be a little disgusting, to talk about, but that's what it is. That's why my voice just sounded like it did. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, earlier in the year, it's about halfway through, little over halfway through this year, and maybe recently I might have brought it up again somewhere on the channel. Just something I'm not too thrilled about is I started out this year reading Heir to the Empire. For those of you that aren't aware and are not Star Wars fanatics such as myself and quite a few others of us out there in the galaxy. Go look on the channel. I have three, at least three different videos ranking all of the Star Wars movies, be it the original trilogy, the prequels, and the more recent sequel trilogy. Anyway, I started out the year reading Heir to the Empire, like I was saying, for people that don't know or are not aware, that's book one of the Star Wars EU Expanded Universe, or it's now known as Legends, whatever title you wish to give it. Disney, after they acquired the rights from Lucas, decided the books are not canon, which is BS. And I only say that because for years, I mean, years, they were canon, considered to be, within the timeline of events of the movies. And why, when Disney, got the rights, they all of a sudden decide, you know what, let's throw this in the trash. We still own it, but let's go make our own thing. And that's neither here nor there. But after so many years, Book Monster decided, you know what? I'll start with Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy. That supposedly, takes place after Return of the Jedi timeline in the original trilogy. So let me start there. Well, I finally started there maybe in February or March of this year. And for a while, for a good long while, it's well documented on the channel. I loved it, couldn't get enough. Well, I got as far friends as to get to the 60% mark or thereabouts on Kindle of Heir to the Empire. That's um 22 whole chapters worth, I think, right on the first page of chapter 23. And I don't know if my demeanor changed or what happened, but I I fell out of love, let's say, with it. And for a while I said, you know what? Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll go back. Now, all these months later, I pretty much decided it's not gonna happen. I, read the majority of the first book and still have two full books in the trilogy to go. But unfortunately, it's a pass for me, which is really unfortunate. The way I loved it for quite some time, and just now all of a sudden decided, no, it happens. And look, so many people love not only Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy, but the EU legend novels as it is. So I can't fault anybody or anything. The author, the fans, nobody. Like people say, like Mike from Mike's book review says, it's a me thing. I'm okay with that. So even he loves it. He loves the not only the Thrawn trilogy, but the EU legend novels from Star Wars as a whole, up to a certain point. But he got a lot further, um, decades further than I did. Um, it's documented on his channel that he's read, you know, book after book in that universe and just eats it up. So he's not alone, but not for me. So um, there's really only one other thing I can think that I'm not too happy about or not too thrilled about, uh, but kind of had to work out this way, and you'll understand why in a second. They just had other plans, so it is also documented on the channel that in addition to reading books, making videos like this, um, playing video games, watching movies, all of that, Book Monster, I am trying to write my own material as well. So, that being said, I got a good little chunk of a story going for quite a while. As a matter of fact, not only one story, I had another story going before the story I, you know, put a hold on earlier in the year. But unfortunately, I had to scrap them both because writing cannot force it. If you try to force writing or any creative process, it's not gonna work out. Um, and I'm sure if anybody else tries their hand at writing, playing music, or any creative process, can back me up on this. If you force it, it's not gonna work. Like like the old saying, if it doesn't fit, don't force it. Um, so yeah, I just unfortunately had to scrap those stories. One was a story leading up to an apocalyptic event, and the other was a fantasy type story with a fantasy type setting of kings and lords and queens, ladies, whatever you want to say. The fantasy setting story I'm currently still working on. I just restarted that from scratch. The good news is it's going a lot easier, a lot better now. It's flowing a lot better. I'm enjoying my time in the world I was creating or am creating. Not that I wasn't enjoying the creativity process before, it's just, it wasn't working out. So, on either account, on the apocalyptic setting story or the first fantasy round of stories. I say stories because the fantasy setting story is going to be um, more than likely a trilogy, uh, no more than that. I personally, I'll be I'll be surprised if I have a trilogy, you know, in me to write, much less any more than that. I can confidently say that it will be a trilogy because there's no way in the world on in any world that I will be able to, you know, fit it all in one volume, one book, and it be cohesive, good storytelling. I'll have to break it down into chunks. So, you know, really that's all I've got for the video. Another thing I'm happy about is I read my first Joe Hill book. I, you know, made a video earlier this month, posted a video earlier this month about Joe Hill's Heart Shaped Box. I read and did somewhat of a discussion or review of that book. It's long, it's about 30 minutes long, uh, review, discussion, whatever, but I just had a lot to unpack, a lot of thoughts to unpack. With that 370 page book. So, like I said, that's all I really have for this video. It was just a handful of things, one or two things each, that I am and am not happy about. So, thank you once again, and as always, love each other, take care of each other. Have a good day, good evening, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.